everyone! So I'm super excited to be bringing you a process video today as part of the Stash Bash YouTube Hop. We are using 6x6 paper pads today, and I have chosen this pretty old paper pad from my stash. It's from the Crate Paper Farmhouse collection. And I am going through and I'm choosing some patterns that I think will go with my photo that I have there. So I'm going to cut each of these 4 6x6 paper pads into 4 3x3 squares. And I'm going to be a little fiddly with them because my goal here is to get them all exactly the same size. So I don't want any of them to be a little bit off from each other. I want them all to be plumb and straight and together. And so I'm going to just keep kind of trimming them. They do end up being less than 3x3, obviously. But the goal is to make them all the same size square and not have them be off in any way. And you'll see why that's so important in a minute. So I have a sheet of white American Crafts cardstock here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more supplies, put them off to the side, and now I'm going to create a background. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking those squares and I'm going to make little diamond shapes, and then I'm going to tack them down. I'm going to tack them down very lightly. I'm not putting a lot of adhesive on them. I'm just going to kind of tack them down a bit. Then I'm going to take my last 4 squares, and these are going to get much more adhesive on them, and you'll see why that is in a minute. And I'm just going to fill them in kind of here and there on these little kind of empty areas. So I'm using lots and lots of tape, lots and lots of tape runner on these squares because these are going to be stuck down permanently where they are. And so I'm just going to fill all of these in. And yeah, this is a really great way to use up some 6x6 pads, is to cut them into a shape and then use that shape to create a background. So I'm doing kind of a quilt inspired background here, but you could fill this with circles, you could fill it with labels, you could fill it with, you know, anything that you would like to do. You just have to grab a 6x6 pad that all coordinates and yeah, start punching shapes or cutting shapes and see what you create. So I'm taking my T-square ruler and I'm going to use a pencil to lightly draw across, across through my things. And they're not going to be perfect. Initially, when I started this, I wanted them to be perfect, but I'm a fan of things looking handmade and hand done, and it was going to kind of frustrate me to try to get them perfect. So instead I just kind of went for kind of perfect, right? And now I'm going to stitch. So I'm going to punch some stitching lines, punch these holes, and stitch them all through with some brown thread. And again, my stitching's not perfect, so the lines ended up a little wonky at places and a little off, but I decided that I liked that handmade look. Now, I don't want to cover up too much of my background because I've done a lot of hard work working on it. As you can see, I also managed to use all of my tape runner and needed a new refill. So what I'm going to do now is I decide that I'm just going to go ahead and put my photos onto a white mat. I'm going to ink the mat with Vintage Photo Distress ink, and all of my elements in this layout were inked up with the Vintage Photo. But sometimes I think that gets a little tedious to watch on camera, so I tend to take that part out. So I'm going to just find a spot where I wasn't real happy that underneath there, that triangle ended up a little gappy. And I wasn't real happy with just that area of my layout. So that's the area we're going to put the photo on. I wasn't real happy with my stitching there. And so I'm just going to put it on white cardstock so it kind of pops off against my background, but not too much of my background is covered up. And I also like how this photo kind of nestles into that one stitching area. I think it works really well. And now I have grabbed all of my Paper House Productions Autumn Woods things. So the Autumn Woods collection doesn't have a lot of paper. It's a lot of, well, mostly I guess would be planner supplies, except that they also work really, really well for just layouts like this. So this farmhouse collection, I obviously don't have any of the other embellishments, nothing to go with it, just a 6x6 pad. And so by pulling in these Paper House Productions embellishments, I was able to really give this layout an awesome look. So I had all of these lovely little planner products, and I'm going to use them in unique and fun ways because I love them. This is, I think, my favorite fall line by far. I really, really love all of these cute, fun little embellishments. So these are the rice paper border stickers, and I'm going to use them to decorate this little top and bottom piece. The really nice thing about using these embellishments on a layout like this is that, again, they're small, on the small side, so they are perfect for tucking in without adding a lot of bulk. So this is actually a planner sticker, but I'm going to use it. It's a square sticker, and I'm going to use it to start off some of my clustering. I'm going to go ahead and tuck it up under here, and it's actually going to act as my title as well, which is going to be simply pumpkins. And then I'm going to layer on top of it a puffy sticker that also says pumpkins, and it's just going to provide some dimension. I also want to use one of these clips. These clips are so beautiful. Oh, I love them. So I'm going to pick the raccoon just because he was kind of facing the right direction, looking the right way. I'm going to pop him in right there. And then I will end up grabbing a sticker and kind of covering up the part that shows him at paper, that shows, you know, the paper clip part. So he just looks like a fun enamel element on my page. I'm also going to go ahead and use lots of these pop dots throughout my layout. I keep them kind of off to the side. I have gone back to them. I don't use my foam too much unless I'm going to pop up a large area, a large picture, a large cut file, something like that. But for just popping up little edges to create some dimension, I really just like to use a foam square. And here is where I'm going to kind of tuck this pumpkin in underneath so that this doesn't even look like a paper clip anymore, and these are not bulky paper clips, so they're really, really perfect for using on a scrapbook layout. I'm going to grab some enamel dots from my stash. These are Echo Park enamel dots, and they just went with the colors that I had on this layout. And so I'm going to add those up there. So, and now I'm just kind of looking, what do I want to add next? What looks good? What else do I want to do to this little bottom portion? And again, because these stickers and embellishments are so small, they're just perfect for this type of a layout where you have this big background and you don't want to cover it up too much. So a couple of pumpkins, planner sticker, these are planner stickers, and then I added some puffy stickers, and yeah, I'm just looking for little things that can add some interest around my photo, filling in some spots. Another element that I found to be really perfect for this layout were these really small epoxy stickers. They really just were the perfect little addition to my layout. And they are clear, so I was careful about where I put them. So we have our little raccoon, and I love this fox. This fox is in a lot of the embellishments for this Autumn Woods collection, and it's so cute. They're so cute. I love it. Those little animals, they get me. They're so adorable. So I'm going to kind of pull this up and down quite a few times, and what I end up deciding on is this Give Thanks block that I'm going to tuck under the photo, but then I'm going to cover up all of the writing because the writing's not really what I want to what I'm talking about or what I'm showing in this layout, which is just, we were at a pumpkin patch and I was snapping pictures and it was fun. So this is also from the planner thing, but I'm cutting it apart. So it's like one big box, like a full box, and I'm cutting it apart to make it into little word strips that I can use in this little corner of my layout. And I'm just going to go ahead and layer up a few of these here. And then I'm just going to go through, give everything one last look. Do I want to add anything else? What else can I add to bring some dimension? I add some more of these little puffy heart stickers, and I'm going to kind of like nestle that one right in there. And then these are those little clear stickers I was talking about, and they are beautiful. They're really bright and fun. And the only thing I would say is in this layout, which is very monochromatic, I did not have a problem like matching it up so that it looks good, but they are a clear kind of epoxy sticker. So, and they did provide like just some shine and some just fun to this layout. I loved using all these teeny tiny little embellishments. They just were perfect for clustering and using with this type of a page design. So some last minute little enamel dots and just checking to see what I want. And that's pretty much going to finish up this layout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure that you check out all the other ladies playing along in the Stash Bash YouTube hop and have a wonderful day. Bye.